All right, it's time to get down to brass tacks. Now, when I bought this particular motorbike, it came with 0 mufflers. By the end of this video, we are going to put on 1 muffler. All right, so there really is no value in this bike, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to buy a full titanium, beautifully welded, very artistic, full exhaust system for this bad boy. The value in the bike is, there really is no value. So what I did was bought a very cheap $120-some muffler off of electronicbay.com, and we're gonna slap that bad boy on the bike. All right, so it's kind of difficult to tell exactly how much I need to cut off this pipe. So I'm gonna start with 1.5 inches and see how close we get. Turns out it's not quite short enough, so I got to go through that whole process again and take another 1/2 inch off. While I'm messing with this, let's talk about today's sponsor. Well, there really is no sponsor. Well, I'm the sponsor, so just subscribe to the channel, please. The more people we can get to subscribe ultimately means the more motorcycles I get to buy. And you're never gonna believe this, but I really like motorcycles. Subscribe. Let me show you what's going on here. This little bracket is too low and the brake line is actually touching the muffler. Although I've been known to endorse bad ideas in the past, I think this one's especially bad. So I'm gonna try to figure out a way to move or tweak or bend that brake line bracket to get that brake line away from the muffler. So I think what's going to happen is I have to lower this entire muffler, which means I have to fabricate a way to connect these 2 points. So I got to find a bracket or build a bracket or something. because when it's all the way up in the back, it hits the brake line and the muffler rubs on the footrest. That's not gonna work. Well, it's the next day here at the shop and I need to get this bracket made. So I was digging through some old scraps of metal and things I've collected over the years, and I found this little tuber thing with this plate on the back. And I think if I can grind these spot welds off, this plate will do just fine to make an extension to mount that muffler on. As I was cleaning up the workbench this morning, I was going through some old packaging that the muffler came in, and I found this and this. I think that's a kind of drop extension for the muffler, the exact thing we need to build. But I'm still gonna make one because I think I want it to be a little bit longer. But we're gonna try both of them and see which one fits best. Good lesson here. Go through the packages when you get new parts. All the packages. Shooting shrapnel all over the Moto Guzzi. We don't want that. But if you like that bike, there's tons of videos on the channel about it. So go check it out and subscribe. So after a ton of cutting, grinding, and sanding, this is what we're left with. Side note, don't do a lot of grinding without proper attire. Oh, and always, always, always wear a respirator. And don't wear flip-flops. Oh, and also, don't let the sparks hit your cell phone screen because it will do damage. turns out the saying hindsight is 20/20 is a saying for a reason. And had I used the power of hindsight, I would have realized I should have probably built the bracket first before I start hacking that bad Larry up. The end result is it fits, so I really can't complain too much. Now, with that said, this muffler is teensy and looks kind of silly on the bike. The ultimate deciding factor will be how does the bike sound? So let's fire it up and see how it sounds. All right, so where exactly does this epic adventure leave us? Well, I had a bike without a muffler. I didn't want to spend a fortune on a new exhaust system, so I bought a cheap one off of eBay. Turns out, it's all right. Until next time, peace and love.